Hello, good afternoon, and welcome. And thank you all so much for tuning in to today's Hera 2 mission and the ninth overall flight of our Hera 2 rocket. And as many of you know, this is a very special flight as it is our official return to flight of our launch organization. So we have some lofty goals for the rest of this year. So in these 3 minutes, I'm going to go ahead, take some time to go over those goals. One of which is to achieve 20 more flights by the end of the year. One of those being our L1 certification flight, on which we will fly our next generation Hera 2 Block 2 rocket on ideally an H class powered motor, which will send it up to 1 kilometer. And another important thing to note from that is that it will, in fact, break the sound barrier if we were to fly it on an H class motor, and we will achieve our first ever Mach 1 flight with that rocket. Another goal for this year is to fly Hera 3 at least once more and have a fully successful flight. The way we're going to do that is we're going to invest in a new launch controller once we do have the funds that will be able to reliably ignite both motors on the booster and ensure a complete booster flight profile. With that being said, let's just go ahead, take another second to go over some minimal upgrades that we made to this rocket to ensure that a mistake that of which we saw on the last flight will never occur again. Most of the upgrades aren't visible, and that's because to the naked eye, and that's because they are actually internal upgrades. One of which being in the aft section, we actually structurally reinforced the aft section that contains the motor with structural stringers, so that it essentially doubles the wall thickness while still saving material and mass. Another upgrade that we made is to the motor carriage, and we'll change this to the CAD file to again save on mass. So and this vehicle that you see behind us, Phoenix, will be rising from the ashes of Crusade's failure today on a higher power motor than we have ever flown before. It will be an E-class motor, and it'll take Hera 2 from about 150 meters to what our simulations show over 300 meters up today. So with that being said, here at about T minus 1 minute, we're going to go ahead and listen in as I make the final preps for a nice liftoff tonight. So our launch key is in, and we're showing good continuity on the motor. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30. Stand by for terminal count. T minus 20. T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise. Full ascent. Vehicles reach apogee. Motor burnout. We have parachute jettison confirmed. We do not have visual on the vehicle. Looks to have gone very, very high up, much higher than we've ever seen before on any of our previous vehicles. We're standing by to see if we can get any tracking views of the vehicle. It is quite dark out at our launch site here. So we'll stand by and see if we can get any views of that so we can hopefully recover it. All right, our recovery teams are going to go for recovery, so stand by for that. It should take a couple of minutes, a few minutes at most, so please stand by on this live stream and wait for recovery, and we'll deliver a brief mission briefing once we have recovered the vehicle. Thank you. Please do not leave. The mission has not concluded yet. phone here. I'll take mine for the flashlight. We gotta find this thing.
I didn't even see where it came down.
It was drifting that way. So Hey everybody. So, brief update on the mission. It went really high, and it's very dark out, so it's very hard to find it. Um, so we are going to go ahead and end the stream at this time, but I will assure you that we will not leave this launch site until the vehicle is found and recovered safely. Uh, I'm unsure if the parachute deployed. We did not seem to observe any parachute deploy event, so we'll see what happened on that front of things. But overall, I'd say it was a pretty good return flight, other than the fact that we can't seem to find the rocket very well. But yeah, we're gonna go hop in the car, turn on the brights, and see if we can find this thing. It's got to be somewhere around here. So yeah, I thank you all so much for tuning into the stream. Hopefully, the next flight will be a little bit easier to recover the vehicle. But this is our first time flying a vehicle of this power on this power motor, besides our Hera 3 rocket, which obviously we know that went quite a bit differently than Hera 2, a typical Hera 2 flight. But yeah, this was our first time ever flying anything this to this altitude, so I kind of somewhat expected this to happen. But yeah, rest assured we will find this vehicle and I'll post about it. Stay tuned on the YouTube account, the X account, um, for frequent updates, and we'll make sure to post there whenever we find this thing. Thank you so much for tuning into the broadcast, and I hope you all have a great night.